let's finish the pod on the Champions League then, Miles. We touched on it briefly. PSG results. It's a tough game, wasn't it? A tough watch. Really, really good team with some excellent players. Kvaratskhelia is a magical player, isn't he? And I can't really say how you can have any complaints about the result, first of all. It was a tough game, wasn't it? How did you feel?
I was so proud of them for most of it. I think Villa played excellently as well in their own way, because for all of Paris's dominance in so many key areas, we held them at bay for a really long time. And it took moments of absolute brilliance to break us down. Like, Doulé's goal is sensational. There's not a keeper in the world that's saving that. Kvaratskhelia goal was, again, just something out of a textbook of beauty. It was amazing. The way he glides past the defenders. I think obviously Disasi only just coming off the bench to kind of face that so early on. It's really frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. And then the third goal kills it. That's the frustrating thing for me. If we'd got out of there at 2-1, yeah. I'm not saying I think we'll do it, but there's something to play for still. What worries me is a 2-goal deficit isn't huge when you're the home side, but there was nothing in that game that made me think it will be a completely different tie at Villa Park, because look at what they did at Anfield, this PSG side. There wasn't a huge drop-off for them there. In fact, they probably look better. So, yeah, it's hard to say. There's definitely things Villa can take from this. There's definitely positives that they'll take from it. And Emery still seems quite confident, which is interesting. I don't know whether it's something that he just has to say for the press and to psych his players up. But
maybe.
I kind of always trust him when he says these things. There's still a part of me, even if it's a 1% chance, there's a part of me that goes, yeah, but we could. Maybe. I think it'll be a completely different 11. I think it'll be a completely different style. We have to go for it now. Whereas I think the whole point was to go to Paris and not let them steamroller you. So now at Villa Park, we will take the game to them. I think we'll see a really different and more attacking lineup. And that could be really good, because a lot of the time, Paris didn't have anything to worry about. So they were able to play this free-flowing game through the middle. They were able to activate their wingers, because what were Villa offering going forward? In the first half, Rashford was running in behind and it scared them. There was a couple of moments. And look at Rodgers' goal. We go 1-0 up. That was an amazing thing. And honestly, I can't explain to you how good that felt, but it showed that there was something to do. And in the second half, I think they decided, no, let's just make sure we close this out now. And they stopped looking for that run, and Rashford stopped kind of progressing out wide. So I think we'll see a really different side
do you think,
on Tuesday.
Do you know what I found hilarious? As I saw that Kvaratskhelia goal, and I was like, oh, he's been beating it his near post there. It should be doing it a bit better. See the replay.
No,
I was like, no, fair enough.
Yeah, that's still wrong.
He drilled that. He couldn't have hit it any better. It was like Giggs' goal against Arsenal in the semi-final. It was absolutely smashed against the other side of the bar. It's got absolutely no chance. Do you think Martinez will look at that Doué goal and think, I thought it was a great strike?
No, I think it was just a great goal. Yeah,
I actually think Martinez had an absolutely brilliant game.
Yeah,
I think he was excellent. I think he might be frustrated with the third goal because obviously he gets sold with the dummy. But even then, he manages to get up quick enough to have a go at stopping it. Like, I thought he was fantastic. I think it's frustrating that he can play so well and they still put 3 past us. And Kvaratskhelia, the difference he's made to this PSG team is unbelievable. I mean, you're leaving out Bradley Barcola because of these 2 wingers that you've got, and that's a huge step in itself. It's meant that Dembele can play more centrally. So I think a lot of people in England saw Arsenal play PSG early in the competition and saw how narrowly they got through the group and thought, well, okay, this isn't a side to worry about. I'm telling you now, they look to me like the team that will go on and win the whole thing. And that's frustrating because it means that I don't see us getting past them on Tuesday. But you never know. I think there's definitely things we'll do differently. Watkins will start. I'm pretty sure of that. And I think he has to. We've talked a lot about Watkins on this podcast, and I think he's horribly disrespected by a lot of football fans, including Villa fans sometimes. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for being an excellent forward. And I think he will bring a lot to our game plan if he plays against PSG, because the way he presses, the way that he defends from the front, we really missed that in the last game. I think if actually that means Rashford can go out wide, well, all of a sudden Hakimi and Mendes, they cannot be allowed to get so far up the pitch. You have to have some sort of threat behind them. And because Rashford was playing centrally, we were kind of playing a bit with Ramsey and Rodgers wide. they're not natural wide players. They do come more centrally, and it means the fullbacks were way too involved for PSG. I would love to see us in this next game. I'd probably start Bailey as well. I'd probably go Bailey and Rashford out wide, push the fullbacks deeper, and then maybe even try Maatsen and get him to come and offer something there. It would be very full throttle. It would leave us a bit vulnerable at the back. But what have you got to lose at this stage?
It's
I think
interesting.
Watkins could be the heart of that.
It's interesting. I saw a headline on one of the French newspapers or websites saying this wasn't Aston Villa, and it wasn't what they expected to see, a team sitting so deep and not actually going for it as much. And I was surprised that Villa didn't try and score more than one, and it didn't look like they were trying to score more than one. And I think once they did go 1-0 up, it felt like they wanted to A, defend that, but then also B, it was completely impossible against this PSG side to defend that at the Parc des Princes as well. It was a very difficult ask. So I do hope we do see something more full throttle from Villa. They've got to go for it. They've got nothing to lose. There's no shame in being defeated heavily by this PSG team as long as you go for it. And I think that's what I think Villa fans want to see too, right? Just a real effort to get on at least a level footing would be amazing. And I know that's a big ask. You've got to score first, but definitely you've got to not concede really in many ways. And yeah, that's the challenge. How you feeling?
I think it's fair for people to say it didn't seem very Villa in the first leg, but it's very Emery in a European competition. I think it makes a lot of sense. You're the underdog and it's the away fixture, so you have to make sure that things are tight. I do think the way he's talking already, I think they want to go for it at home. And they have to, you are right. And that's exciting. It might not work, but I will love watching the game. The thing is, it was a very entertaining game of football to watch because it felt like a chess match. It was waiting for PSG to just produce a moment, and that's what it took. Fortunately, that would work against some teams. It genuinely would. I would fancy us playing that way against a lot of very good European sides. That's how we got results against Bayern. That's how we did all right against Juve. Like we've got that in our locker, but PSG is just too good. They've got individuals who are capable of those moments, and we've got to be careful that we don't get hurt by that at Villa Park. All I'll say is, can we really see, I don't like to say it out loud, their two wingers had the best games of their career, it felt like, against us, didn't they? Can you rely on them doing that again? Because that's what it will take to break us down again, because we've been excellent defensively at Villa Park in the Champions League.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
Martinez
the balance
is there. Yeah. You know he's up for it. I would probably change the back four. I wouldn't start Cash. I don't think that's the one that makes sense. I wish we'd started Konsa at right back in this one. I think he makes loads more sense than Disasi. He's got more pace in that position. He's more familiar with it. I'd rather see Konsa right back and Disasi as the right and centre back than the other way around.
I don't know if Konsa gets beat like...
no, I don't think he does.
Like Disasi does against Kvaratskhelia. I thought that's the only thing there. He wants to get inside on that foot and drill it the way he did. I thought that was, I wouldn't say poor defending, but
it's naive
because he disguises it very well. But I thought he could have done better.
He needed to grow into the game as well. Like I say, it was 48 minutes and he came on at half time. Like that's the frustrating thing. He didn't have time to catch the pace of the game. The change made a lot of sense because Cash was already on a yellow. And Cash can be a bit erratic at times. And the last thing we needed was to go down to 10. I maybe would have made the change at like 55 minutes, though, just to kind of... Because Villa are not very... We've seen this a few times this season. The start of the game and the start of the second half, we get hit quite a lot. I'd rather we'd had a bit of stability to get us underway and then thought about a change, maybe. But it is what it is. And if that third goal doesn't go in, you walk away going, it's a bloody good result and we actually could do something here.
That's true. The optics change a lot with a 2-1 back to Villa Park, don't they? So, I mean, still all to play for Villa, really, but they've got to play for it. They've got to fight, and that'll be the challenge and the interesting thing for neutrals to see. Probably interest is not the right word for you, Miles. I think it's going to be an absolute, a real nervy occasion.